part, then you folks have to watch along the coast here, the different islands in the Caribbean, you know, Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, Cuba, maybe South Florida. I haven't seen too many problems of that, but usually what they do, they kind of very rarely go this way. Let me show you the most dangerous path for people living in South Florida. And it's another clue. When hurricanes travel across the ocean, they can slow down. This is a very important word in hurricanes. It is S-T-O-P. Stop. It's kind of corny. This is a good place to stop for our commercial. Our commercial is very simple. If you got any questions about this, you have no idea what I'm talking about, that is your problem. No. You can email me. I'm on American Online. So you know how to do that. It's E. Wimmers. Get my name from the, you'll see it. And it is AmericanOnline.com email. Write me a little note and say, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I cannot show you anything on the computer. I could, but I'm not going to. It's too much trouble. Excuse me. I'll answer your question and get right back as soon as I can. But if you have any information that you would like to know more about it, for example, we had a hurricane approaching our area once, and I got all kinds of phone calls from the people north of me saying, what's going to happen, Mr. Murphy? What's going to happen? I said, you're going to get it. And they did. Because I got to show you that yet, don't we? So that's email. That's ewimmers on AmericanOnline.com. Okay? All right. S-T-O-P. No, we're not going to stop for a commercial again. We're done with that. S-T-O-P. If a hurricane stops, begin to sweat. That's the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not sweat. But you're going to have the 11th commandment. Because when a hurricane stops, always, which is not a good word in science. Why? Because it's not always that true. But I have seen anytime a hurricane stops, it turns. What's direction? Who cares? It turns. When a hurricane stops, I have seen them stop out here. And then they turn. Turn what? North, straight, whatever they're going to do. If he's coming straight, then he won't stop. But if he slows down almost to a stop, then he'll change course. If he gets right here above Puerto Rico and he stops, he's not going to go straight. It's going to turn north. Isn't that neat? Okay, you got a car. You're in the car, and your dad's driving a little bit, maybe a little fast, and he has to go around this little corner, and he turns the corner, and everybody in the back seat, if you don't have a seatbelt on, which you're supposed to, everybody ends up on the other side of the door. Or you kind of lean over in your seatbelt. If hurricanes are going very quick across the ocean, watch what happens. They'll go right through here and watch. Bam, slam, bang, boom, bang. They cannot make the turn. If hurricanes are going forward speed, I'm not talking about the wind speed of 100 miles an hour, no. I'm talking about how fast is it moving across the ocean. If the hurricane is moving very quickly across the ocean, it will go straight ahead and slam right into this part of the world. Let's say it's not really going all that fast, and it does turn a little bit, but oh, it tries, and it slams right into the Yucatan. Once it turns, and maybe it's not going too fast, it'll go right through here, right through that opening. And then it always goes up here. And because the earth is going this way, it usually takes the hurricanes and slams them into New Orleans, Pensacola, across Jacksonville like that. See? It actually turns it because of the rotation of the earth. Kids, when hurricanes are moving slow, the earth really has a lot to do with its turn in directions. All right, let's come back down here. Right underneath Jamaica is where the hurricane can either make the turn or does not. If a hurricane stops right here, it is slowed down and actually comes to a stop, I suggest for you people who live in this part of the world to go immediately and get your lumber, your nails, whatever it takes. Every time a hurricane has stopped here, it has always turned north and slammed right into here. Never fails. See, the hurricane would like to go this way, but the rotation of the earth pushes it like that. All right? There is a hurricane that came across here and went straight across and slammed right into the southern Florida many years ago. What was Hurricane Andrew? Remember that one? Okay, now that was rare. Now, I haven't got into the rare things yet. Please remember, watch the hurricane. Which road does he take? Which part of the jet stream, the Gulf Stream does he take? Not that jet stream. Jet stream is another story. Okay, which one of these does he take? And every time he stops, he's going to turn. The part that makes things really tricky in predicting hurricanes are cold fronts. We talked about that at the beginning of the program. Kids, if there's a cold front coming down, this can cause a lot of problems. We had a hurricane one time that stopped. It went this way. It turned, went across Florida, turned, came around, and hit Florida, and went back around again, and then went out and back home again. It did a loop-de-loop. What happened? There was a cold front coming down. Why did Hurricane Andrew come in? One of the multiple reasons. There was a cold front coming down. And the cold front actually caused Hurricane Andrew to go the direction it did, across the southern tip of Florida. If you have a hurricane off the coast of the United States, say you live up here and what's it got here? Norfolk, Atlantic City, Cape Hatteras, Wilmington, Savannah. If you live along this area and you got a cold front coming down off the Smoky Mountains, it'll keep the hurricane out at sea. But what if the hurricane, what if there is no cold front? Then get and buy your wood. All right, but here's this. If a hurricane is out and he's strong, he will not be able to make that turn and crash. Got it? If he's too strong, fast moving, he'll crash right into whatever he wants to over here. It depends on how well he takes the turn. You know, when you go into a turn, you don't go off right away. You try to stay in the turn a little bit, and then you fall off or something. But that's the main clue, is how fast forward motion is the hurricane. All right. So happens that San Juan, Puerto Rico is 5 days away. So if this is 5 days away, whatever it's going to do to the United States, for southern Florida and the Caribbean, if it's down here, it's 3 days away. These come up a little bit faster. But add 2 and make it 5 before it gets up into here. So as it approaches the islands out here, the Lesser Antilles, figure yourself 5 days, which would be a good safe margin. And then just watch it from there. So if he goes across the top up like this, and there's a cold front coming down, just wave goodbye. If he's coming underneath